Hey everybody, here's a little kit update. Got my car has been painted finally, and this is PPG Vortex Black. And I put some of my trim pieces, just kind of laid them in there just to get an idea what it's going to look like. I am going to repaint those again, put another coat on. There's fabric on there that needs to be glued on. I got my sound deadening mat. I might go with Dynamat Extreme probably, but I think I'm going to put some of this down uh, as like an extra precaution for sound deadening. You can put it on the firewall. But Dynamat, I think I'm going to actually go with Dynamat. It's kind of the best stuff that's out there. But yeah, this PPG Vortex Black paint is ridiculous. It looks like you're staring into space in broad daylight at the same time is the best way I can describe it. But yeah, I mean, I still have to polish it and everything, but man, I tell you, this thing's like a mirror. I mean, without even touching this thing, this paint is just like ridiculous. My father-in-law painted this for me, and I did all the sanding and all the prep work and everything, and wiping everything down, wax remover and sanding and leveling, and just, if I never block sand a car again, I'll be the happiest man in the world. But now the hard part's done. My engine's almost finished. Just need to put one of the other heads on. Gonna do the engine bay maybe later this fall or in spring, but I'm gonna take the front end out and do it right. Sandblast the front end, so all that's gonna get cleaned up. So a little overspray in there, but it's not too bad, and I'll take care of all that. But got a 2K on the firewall there, and I'll get all this done after I take a little bit of a break. I've been kind of working on this solid for about the weekends for probably 3 months, and it got real hot this summer, and I just need a little bit of a break, and my father-in-law needs a break, and we put that tent up. I got one of those paint booths it's like an inflatable fun house, and I gotta tell you, it worked out pretty good. As I bump my stuff. But yeah, it's I got a few low spots that not anything major, but I was like, oh boy, I didn't get here or there. And the thing is with black paint, it shows every imperfection on the car, but I think it turned out fantastic for my first attempt ever doing this. And I learned a lot about mixing paint, that's for sure. This little part here, this is going to be where you put the carpet, so that's all going to be covered, but I think I'm going to spray it again, get some more paint and touch it up again, but I kind of just set this trim in here so it's not in the way and it's not getting all banged up or broke. I kind of just set it in the car to see what it's going to look like. And I'm pretty excited about this. I never thought I'd get this far. I've had this car since 2009, and I really didn't have the resources or the time to put into it, and 11 years later, I finally got there. So this is the hard part that's done, and this transmission, this is the 700R4. I got my exhaust here. I'm going to redo that. But it's 714.95 was the last time it was rebuilt. It's got a shift kit in it, and they're pretty nice transmissions. I might get another one. I don't know if I want to do a rebuild on this. I might just get a brand new 700R4 and throw in there. That way we're all clean. I mean, I got a 72 4-bolt that I redid. I got the block downtown, and it was out of like one of those motorhomes, like a GMC motorhome. It might even be one of the ones off the movie Stripes, the EM50 project. That there's a pretty good chance that that's what that's from, because I don't know many GM motorhomes, so that'd be pretty funny if it was. But yeah, here we are, and yeah, this paint is just ridiculous. So, yep, I stripped her all down, and she's down to the firewall, so there we go. So, not a lot of leg room in the back of this thing. It's just got those 2 bucket seats. But I tell you, the front of the car has all kinds of leg room because you can put the seats back, and it's pretty nice. So, I've got my, here's kind of my hush mat stuff. Like I said, I might go with something a little thicker, but that's what I got right now. I got to fill these holes in. And this metal's really thin, and it's hard to weld. So I'm just going to get some Bondo glass and fill those in, get those nice and level. And I was going to go with this fender here, but there's nothing wrong with it. I did go ahead and sand all that down, but I want to go something that didn't have so many. You'd never see that. As far down as that is, you never see it, but this one's a lot more straight. So I think this is off an 85 because the ground effects. The other, this is off my 83. You'll see the ground effect holes are down here, right? But then you go to like an 85, which didn't have the same setup. It had the different ground effects. They actually put the holes up here, whereas the other ones are down here. So there you go. And there's my son already. So yeah, both of the the kind of the gray fender, I think that was 2K primer that was on there. I got that filled in. I just need to fill in those ground effect holes. And my hood is sanded. It's been sanded down for several months. That frickin' emblem burned into the metal. There's nothing left of it, but it just left an impression on there. So I'm gonna make sure that's nice and level, and I'll get that looking nice. I got a couple of. Someone must have, along the lines, closed this hood with something in the car still, like a wrench or a tool or something, and it's barely there. But when you it's obviously hitting the sandpaper. Same thing with this one. So I'm gonna get on the back side of this. If I gotta drill a hole in each area and pull it with my stud welder, I will, just to level it out, or I'll get a hammer or something or heat it up and soften that metal up. But you can't really see it, but there's a little bit of there's kind of a high spot right here, which if it was painted black, you'll see it. Because you want these body lines. This is the cowl induction, you know, and you want these body lines to look nice and crisp, you know. And that's kind of where we are right now. And I got my seats up there, my PMD seats. They only put these in 82s. I think they had them in the 83s, I guess special order, but 82 Firebird SEs and Trans Ams had these if you asked for them. I think they even came standard with the Firebird SEs. And then there's the nose up there, which I'm going to put on. And I've already test fitted the nose. I mean, Rob Lozelle does a fantastic job. That guy, I tell you, his fiberglass is just wow. I'm honored to have his fiberglass. I've got his upper console, lower console, switch pods, dash, nose, everything. Steering wheel. And he was a cool enough guy. He autographed the plate that goes in the steering wheel, which I was completely honored to have because I've been wanting his stuff for a while, and I knew he was maybe getting out of the biz, you know, and he was gracious enough to, you know, I asked him if he'd be able to make me some parts, and he was really cool about it and would do it absolutely. So, really fortunate to get some of those because he's the guy. You know, he's the guy that started it all as far as I'm concerned. And super easy to work with, real gentleman. And it's great. So, and the guys on the Knight Foundation forums are great on the Facebook page now. I really like those guys, talking to them. And there's a few other pages out there. You know, the guys are okay, but some of them are kind of hit or miss, I guess. But the foundation Facebook group is my favorite. Those guys are really cool, and it's fun sharing information with them. And there's a few other pages that you know, you kind of talk about things, but those guys are definitely my favorites. So definitely really cool. And I've got some here's those inserts for the wheel wells. I gotta wash those up. Here's my doors. I don't know what the heck got on there, but it's not dense, but it's just something got on there. I don't know what it is. And oh, I know what it was. These things, I put those over here yesterday, and it must have just rubbed on it a little bit. My garage does not normally stay like this, but I was doing some moving around, and this is the deck for the piece that goes on the hatch. That's all sanded down, ready to go. I circled all the low spots I found on the door. That's the passenger side door. Here's the bumper. Needs a little bit of work. It's got a few little divots in there, but I was getting that pesky, stubborn decal off the back. It's just terrible. So that thing was a pain. And even after you get that off, it's still, you know, man. I could tell you something. The Pontiac adhesive that they used on those old stickers is like fresh, like it's brand new. You know. In fact, you can see it right there. That stuff is stubborn. You know, when it's a plastic bumper, rubber bumper. It's not like you can take heat to it. You know. So, real quick before we jet here, this is my dash. So it's a little dusty. Yeah, I'll get her all cleaned up here, but I've had her under this. And no, I did not buy this put together. I had to put it together myself. You know, always people like, where could I buy that? You can't buy it. You could buy fiberglass from someone, but you gotta build these yourself. It's not a snap kit, model kit. You gotta think about it, and you have to strategize. And I tell people, these things are like a movie. It's a miniature movie set you're building. You know, it looks maybe somewhat simple, but I mean, you know, I had to take a heat gun and actually I had to bend all this by hand, and eyeball it, and get it, you know, get the bend just right, so when you screw it into the back of the dash, it looks right. You know, and these are dual touchscreen monitors here, and that's, you know, you're taking an older dash and putting these newer backing boards and, you know, putting these Lexan covers over the displays. Some guys don't do that, but I do personally, because I wanted this to look like it came out of a factory made like this, and I did my absolute best. And this is the dash on dash one. So yeah, she's a little dusty. I'll get it cleaned up, but she's been staying pretty well protected under this sheet, and she's, you know, it's going to be going in the car here early next year, so it's just fine where it is. And I got some other parts that I sanded down already, ready to paint. This is the part that goes in front of the nose under the hood, or behind the nose, I should say. It's kind of a deck. And this is going to be, this here is the front, it's the inner bumper for the original factory. I got to take this off because I'm going to put the driving lights, the fog lights in front, and reuse that bracket. And this is the old power steering pump. I bought a brand new pump. I just got to get the pulley off this one, put it on the other one. But yeah, that's kind of where she is right now. So I hope you guys like this update, and I'll keep you guys posted. Oh, yeah, one last thing I was going to show you is this is the old dual resonator muffler system that came, it's stock, you know, so I really like the sound of it for a stock muffler, and it's pretty nice, so really happy about it. But anyway, here I got this is your torque arm, or whatever you call it. So here's the metal, it's the T-top pillar. I guess you want to call it that, or the centerpiece. I don't know the terms for this stuff half the time, and half the time I'm so tired I can't even think. But there's my dash cluster, and there's all my wiring. I know it looks terrible, but I'm one of those people. Let's just get it up off the floor, get it where it's not going to get broken, and, you know, like, see the rest of, here's the engine harness in here, and the, so, it's all the wiring, but there you go. Have a good day, folks.